AI-fueled chatbots like ChatGPT, while at one hand has benefited the small companies as these bots can author the content within seconds, on the other has also left the academia worried. We have with us Professor Chandan Avasthi, who looks after plagiarism and checks the thesis of the researchers. Let us go across to Professor Avasthi to find out how much threat is being posed by the chatbots like ChatGPT. Uh, Professor Avasthi, can you please tell us how these chatbots are posing a threat to the academia and the research?
These chat boxes are, I won't say posing a challenge for the time being, but on the other hand, yes, we can say they are actually decreasing the analytical thought process and critical thinking of the students and the researchers. Because, for example, we give some problematic to the students, we assign them some work, and you'll be surprised that within few minutes, they come to us with the work, either it is review of literature or some other piece of work. So in the beginning, we were unable to find out the critical thinking of our students has improved tremendously. But later on, we found out that they are using softwares which are available even on the mobile phones in the form of mobile applications and also on the websites. So what they do is they simply upload these documents, these papers, and these artificial intelligence applications or the programs, they would transform this paper or the work into a renewed form, and it was difficult for us to find out how the students have reviewed the work so classically. Later on, we found out that these softwares, what they do is they exchange words, and because it is artificial intelligence word, and these softwares and applications are have proven this. So what they do is they change all the content, and the students would come up with such a brilliant work for us. So later on, when we asked students to present these papers, which were done by the artificial intelligence, none of the students could prove themselves, because they haven't worked on that. So when we questioned them on their submission of papers, or there is a pre-submission presentation for the students. So none of them could qualify in these presentations because the work was not done by them. They used to simply upload the papers, and these applications used to transform or renew the articles. So this was a problem, and the faculty in our institute also find out that these applications are somehow hampering the analytical thought process and critical thinking of the students, which is dangerous for the academia in days to come.
So as these chatbots are becoming more and more human, and it is very difficult to detect the plagiarism being created or published by using these tools. So what type of tools do you think there should be to counter such bots?
See, all the universities and research institutions have their own mechanism to deal with such issues. We have certain plagiarism checker softwares which are given by the university, which are approved by the UGC. And these supervisors themselves have been sensitized how to check the plagiarism if done by the students. So supervisors have their own mechanism, and see, the experienced faculty knows what has been plagiarized and what not. So yes, but on one hand, if we have artificial intelligence tools available, and more are coming, more are on the way, being startups or coming from the West, at the same time, the Ministry of Information and Technology of India, along with the University Grants Commission, and we have IITs and other institutions. So I think we should also develop an alternate mechanism in the form of similar patterns to detect the plagiarism which was done by the student or the researchers, which has not yet been detected. So I think an alternate model has to be designed.
Is there a need to ban such bots which were actually bringing a bad name to the research or the content, and even if we talk about the schools, as school children were also widely using such applications?
See, I won't say banning these softwares, because for some these tools are really beneficial. So we should not ban it. But as I said, that we need to develop an alternate mechanism so that even if a student is using, a researcher is using these tools, at the same time, challenge for us is to develop their critical thinking and the thought process, as I said. So banning is not the solution, because you ban one software, another software will come. You ban another software, a proxy software will come. So it is very difficult. But need is to develop the understanding of research among the students, and to aware them, sensitize them, the ethics of research, so that, see, if a student is aware, he's ethical on his or her research part, he or she would definitely won't go for such softwares. If one is doing a rigorous work, so I think the students themselves won't do that.
So do you think that if these chatbots are becoming popular more and more, there are some popular search engines like Google or Microsoft, they will be affected by the popularity of these bots in future?
See, one thing, as you said, that Google and other big names are affected or not, definitely. See, any industry or any institution, whether it is a world institution, a regional or a state institution, local institution, is not immortal. I mean, one institution has to die. It has a certain life. So this is a world of competition, and if somebody is challenging Google through even a single platform, so it is a matter of concern for Google. It has to be. As I said, no institution is immortal. So they should be prepared for these upcoming platforms. Right? So we cannot say that Google will remain forever and every time. So there are new companies coming up. And if students or people who are dependent on these softwares, if they like their, you can say, the mechanism or the process they have, and if it is better than Google, then of course people will shift to that. It is a concern for these big companies, of course.
Thank you, Dr. We spoke to Dr. Chandan Avasthi, who told us that even before ChatGPT was launched, there were many tools to check plagiarism. But the threat being posed by these chatbots may be hampering the research process or the academics. But there are ways and means to detect plagiarism and to check the intentions of the people who, by using such bots, may publish the content which may violate the copyrights. Companies like Google and Microsoft are already working on it, and many bots are being invented and prepared to counter the threat being posed by the chatbots. With camera person Aman Gupta, this is Manjeet Sehgal in Chandigarh for India Today.